All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakah HaKodash, a double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, first off, I want to say Shalom to the ones that push this word out in truth and in sincerity, right? Which are the apostles and elders on down to the brothers, right? And Shalom to the ones that endure this faith until the very end, right? Until the time of Jacob's trouble, which are, again, the apostles and elders on down to the brothers and a few sisters, all right? So Shalom. I want to do this, quick video, pretty much on this certain treaty, right? Something I've been researching, this week. Pretty much a treaty. There's many different treaties out there, but something that also goes towards, this man, being a hypocrite, right? Defying every single agenda, every single policy and treaty that's out there, that's supposed to uphold his agenda. Right, so pretty much this certain treaty, right, was called the Treaty of Versailles. Right, you had many different treaties and policies that was set out there, but this one in particular, right, I was kind of interested in, reading about it. The Treaty of Versailles, that was a certain treaty that was pushed out, in fact, forced upon. That's why they had different, debates, right, within U.S., right? So what was going on, they had, around the time of World War One, right, 1914 and 1919, around there, the early 1900s, they had something called imperialism. And, with imperialism is pretty much, them, conquering. Something that we seen throughout, the Spanish, on back even. You had imperial, you had many different forms of imperialism for, centuries. Right? What we just seen. King Cyrus, right? King of Persia. And then Nebuchadnezzar. Right? So with this certain treaty, this treaty was made right around World War One, right, 1914, but it was specifically published around like June, around there, like the 28th of 1919, actually. I was about to say 1990, but it was 1919, early 1900s. That's World War One, right? Pretty much, the U.S. they was blaming Germany, for causing World War One. So when they was putting the blame on them, they made a treaty, right? Which was, of course, the Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles, pretty much, it's a taxing. So they made Germany, they had Germany in a lot of debt, for the damages, right? And not only that, but, they was taking away their, their weapons, right? They taking away their military. All of their armada was being taken away. Why? Because, this treaty. And then you had debates within, these factions, even in U.S., saying, that, y'all shouldn't be doing this, because they still got to have a military, right? But here's the thing. This goes completely against, their laws, right? You got the Second Amendment, which was, the right to bear arms. The First Amendment, the right to petition, stuff like that. And the fact that, they even had previous, debates with Cuba, how they was trying to annex Cuba. They was trying to say that they was unfit for self-govern, right? But they try to take over places that are defenseless, but they try to leave countries defenseless like Germany, right? What happens if another government takes over or tries to take over their country, right? That would be all on, America's fault then. So again, this goes against, the rights to bear arms. This is, Esau fighting against himself, right? Gog and Magog. So this is Obadiah 1 verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, right? The men of thy confederacy is what? Their military. And that border, is slavery. It says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, that they eat thy bread, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Right? So let's go, further into it, like a form of commentary, right? What the Elder of Baltimore here does. Let's go into the commentary of Obadiah 1:7. Pretty much, let's talk right here. They had major trade routes, right? But they try to say that border was the trade route, which it was, because they had garrisons, right? Garrisons are like bases, right? They had garrisons, that informed, the slaves, right? They served as borders. They're like paying tolls, or like an actual border, like a U.S. border, right? So they had trade relations, with surrounding nations. So when they have excellent trade relations, they sign what? Treaties, right? Once they sign those treaties, they're trading, right? They start trading with the other countries near them. So pretty much, they took pride in their strength, and they that's why I said if we can go back, right? If I remember what that was, they magnify their hearts, right? That's pretty much what this goes into, and magnifying their heart. So pretty much, you even go further down here, right? And what does it say right here? Edom was a constant provoker against Israel. In the end, it was those Edom expected to be allies who defeated them. Right. So, them allies, they was expecting, Edom was expecting, the other countries to be allies with them, which they were, but, they broke treaties. And then they defeated them. Right? Again, you see this with, these other countries fighting against each other. This man breaking this treaty, he breaks another treaty. The same goes over and over again. Right? It's a rinse and repeat. So, here's what I wanted. Daniel 8:25. Right? That's another good one. It says, and through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. Right? So that's what I was looking for. He magnified himself in his heart. That's when, he was getting overly prideful, and laying bread under people, right? Pretty much putting traps under people. That's that showing of power, that influence, saying, hey, we're a top nation. So that means you're safe to trade with us. We're trustworthy. And what did they do? They made these treaties and then they broke them. So through his policy, also he shall cause craft, right, to prosper in his hand. Craft is what? Like schemes. These are all schemes. His treaties, his policies, they're all schemes. And by peace shall destroy many. That's what he does. They're peace treaties. The Treaty of Versailles was pretty much like a peace treaty, but it also had a catch to it. To take away their government, right? To take away their military and to tax them. They had, they was in debt. So it says he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Right? So he shall be broken. This man's power structure, that's that's Isaiah 13:10. Right? The constellations thereof shall not give their light. Right? The stars of heaven. That's what? The power structure of this man's society. It's not going to last long, especially with these kind of treaties that he keeps breaking. Because at the end of the day, they're going to look at this man and be like, man, how many treaties has he broke? You know, he's in debt for I don't know how much money. He's broken so many damn treaties and policies. You know, we're taking this man out of power, right? It's like you know, Persia and Babylon, right? When the Persians took, you know, Babylon out of power, right? It's like the Tower of Babel. That's all this pretty much is. It's the Tower of Babel. So, in this lesson was edifying, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, and Shalom.